Every good day of Counter-Strike broadcast needs a little overtime. And seeing as our games today were total blowouts or a little more lopsided, we need a little overtime show this evening to wind things down and to put an end to it all. Today I'm joined by Moses, who has blessed our broadcast with your presence, man. Welcome back to the winning team.
Thanks. I just was going to say I've had plenty of great days casting Counter-Strike that encapsulated no overtime.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, let's do triple overtime so it's more concurrent to reality, where we end up with triple overtimes.
I was just trying to paint a beautiful picture.
You did good. You're
it was all right.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Of course, we will be joined by Mauisnake. Oh, speak of the devil.
There he is.
Getting Maui in. Man will
Did
plug
you just
into the
steal that
Matrix.
cable from... Oh, yeah.
Those are powerful
nice. I respect
shoes.
Yeah, he got them from Lady Gaga.
The soles on those shoes are unbelievable.
They're crazy. I think I'm in. I think I'm good.
All plugged in?
I think I'm ready, yeah.
All right, ceremonial cheers, shall we?
All right.
Cheers.
Let's do
Cheers,
it.
brother.
And thank you, Jason. I appreciate the compliment on my shoes. I like them too.
Yeah.
They cost
Can we
a
get an
lot,
ID
so
check on the shoes?
I need to be affirmed for my purchases.
Need the positive reinforcement.
Yeah, can we get an ID check on the shoes?
They're George Cox, ex-Comme des Garçons. So.
Is that a zipper? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it's
the
a zipper, yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, they're zipper and creepers, so zipper platform.
Do you sleep in them?
To break them in, yeah, you gotta. It's like raw denim.
Smart.
Yeah, just gotta
Oh,
keep
you
wearing
bathe in
it.
them too?
Yeah, I go in the ocean with them.
Yeah, the ocean, yeah.
Yeah, ocean soak.
Salinate them.
I don't know if people even are following at this point, but yeah.
People go through crazy lengths with raw denim.
Yes.
Yeah. Me and Mohan have matching shoes for this event.
You guys do. Not today.
Not today.
But
yeah.
the 90s.
We've done a really good job
Never on
of like.
camera. Do you guys just do it to amuse yourselves?
Well,
I just
You guys just want to
got
match
some Air
it.
Maxes,
yeah.
classic sneaks.
Okay.
He guides me in the right direction, you know.
I had some good advice that was just like, watch, haircut, shoes, everything else doesn't matter.
Honestly, you got to get. Maybe you should do the same thing with Anders.
Start matching our
Yeah.
outfits. Anders
Or-
has been
Yeah,
running
so
the
you
show.
just
have
push 'em
basically
in the right
same
direction.
All your shirts will be
Anders has
ironed on
had
the front, but
two
not the back.
blazers in his 7-year casting
Yeah.
career.
And he gets away with it. Like,
Maniac's
somehow
got like
no one
30.
seems to notice.
Yeah, he pulls
right?
it off.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how, but
He has like 8 mansions now because he just doesn't invest money.
the
in
day he
anything
bought
else.
like a new suit jacket, he was like the happiest kid on earth. He's like, I should have done this a long time ago. He was great.
He's got a wardrobe for radio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
true. So another day done. Today was, I think, big surprise really only just how much better NIP looked than Big. We had like a split desk. A lot of the predictions so far for Blast this season have just been super lopsided. I think like when round 2 of MIBR caused the upset after Pistol win, I was like, oh no, please. Not another like
I wanted
G2
it.
EPL. Oh, you wanted it?
I wanted it.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy for them. They got fired up. A really shitty situation for MIBR, sadly. And I don't know, maybe this wounded Big is an easy victim for them tomorrow. But would we say like the big surprise today is just how much better NIP looked compared to Big?
Yeah, what was the second like perspective from you guys in the green room on Big? Like, it kind of was like competitive, and you could see some ideas coming out from Big, but then they just at the same time, we're just not even anywhere near the same level as NIP.
It felt like a lot of the moments in transition when Big is, for example, getting onto a site, they would just give up one needless kill every
Right,
time.
yeah.
Like the strat was okay, but then there's those little lapses that you can just tell they haven't had the reps yet. And that's something where that'll come with time. And it would have been something that would have been easier if the players were of a, slightly higher caliber, a little like higher quality.
And
but,
on that, like his comment that they can make up for, the hole that Xantares left in aim and overall individual skill with communication and the increased team play. Is that real, like, for getting to top 1? Like, Xantares, I feel like I don't know if he's just doing that because it's an interview, but it is underrating how much Xantares actually brought to the team individually, right?
He was better than just aimer. He was just better than an aimer. I mean, he was rotating very well. By the end of his tenure on Big, he was making pretty much the right call on rotations on Dust 2 every time. So, I mean, it's not just, oh, he just happened to get 4 kills because he happened to be in the right spot. It's like, he's choosing the right position a lot to be that lucky.
Inclusion of Gade as well. How do we think Gade did?
It just,
Eh.
yeah, he was
middle of the pack.
Yeah.
I was kind of, I mean, he was doing what Xantares was doing, but they did change the game plan as well. Like, T-side, usually get that, like, infamous halls pop, and Xantares would be at the front of it, and he would manage to entry out of halls, which is one of the hardest things to do on T-side, and they would go and, like, win around that way. They didn't even try it at all. Gade was most of the time entering on that arch wrap over and over again, and he got his entry like a couple of times, but it just wasn't, like, clearly as impactful, and then there was no.
We had that one
behind it as
apartment
well.
pack. That one apartment pop with with Tabson's flub flashbang.
Oh,
blew up in his own head.
The chimney flash.
Yeah. Just missed it. I remember afterwards, you see him on the cameras, like communicating after it went bad, and he's clearly like frustrated and like talking. But I'm like, man, you missed the chimney splash. Like, what is it? I would have loved to know what it was
Maybe
you
he's for
saying.
giving that lineup.
Yeah. Damn.
Just wasn't pressing the push to talk key.
Jason, how many rounds are lost because somebody messed up? Like, how many rounds are lost because you had like a really perfect situation and the tiniest mistake like unraveled the round?
A lot, but I mean, sometimes it's not really a mistake. Sometimes it's just a decision that's made. That's an okay decision, and it just kind of works out the other direction. Like, I don't know. It's hard to always classify everything as a mistake. I think actually I was surprised. I think if you talk to players, I'm sure they could go through pretty much every single round in a match and point out where someone on the team made some kind of a mistake. The question is, does it have an impact? You know.
And what do you do when, like, first of all, when you were on Liquid, were you guys watching games together? And like, were you watching a lot of games together? Were you ever watching games together, or did people just watch stuff by themselves?
No, I mean, we reviewed our own games together. Usually there was some kind of like a session after the game, and then the next day before practice review them. And then, I mean, the players watch pretty much every big game.
Yeah.
On their own. Like, you'll catch them in the morning before practice starts or something. Keith would always be down there, like, you know, watching a YouTube video and then switch over and watch a VOD from the match the day before and kind of skim through and see where, you know, he could pick things up.
So you're saying he was watching a random YouTube video, then you walk in the room and
yeah,
he's like,
watching like watching a music video. No, no, but yeah, they put some time in and watch most games from what I saw. Like, certainly the big ones, certainly teams that they have a lot of respect for, certainly teams that they think are playing really good at the moment. Certainly like demos of players as well that they think are playing a position really well. Yeah. They watch a lot of Counter-Strike, so I mean they were hard working at Liquid.
When you watch like stuff together, sometimes that can be tough though, right? Like where people, if people are disagreeing, is that ever a problem? Was there like a specific protocol for how you should give feedback to each other when you're watching stuff together? People are calling out
He's trying
mistakes?
to fish something out of you. You know he's really good at this,
I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
I know he's got that Sempus interview that was just legendary, so he's done the
I
same
just said,
thing.
hey, how you doing?
I know. That was the best part
We're all
about
on
that. Not going to fall into that trap.
Sure. Stay strong, man.
Yeah, I mean, it sometimes, it's usually more, it's like a matter of like time management of like being like, you know, how long do you actually want to spend talking about philosophy on this specific situation, you know? But I mean, certainly most of the players got onto the same page pretty well.
No further questions.
No further questions. No further comments.
Try to keep that nice and vague.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah?
Well done, well done.
Thanks.
Maui, I think you had a really good tweet actually during this last series between Big and Nip that was, you know, I'll let you reiterate it if you'd like, actually, with the whole thought of, you know, Big redoing their map pool.
Their map pool, yeah. If they're trying to play a more tactical style because they lose a heavy hitter like Xantares, a map like dev1ce doesn't serve you as well as it used to, because he had such an important part on that map. And then we saw Gade there today, and you know, he got a couple kills here and there, but there were also moments where he gets 0, where Xantares would get 3. So those are things where you would chalk a big performance up on dev1ce to be a little bit of knowledge, but a lot of firepower. And that's obviously just, you're flip-flopping, because Gade was supposed to come in as this somewhat tactical assistance guy, not a huge fragger. Like, he never even really had above a 1.05 for 3 months, ever on North, basically. And so there was really not too many points where you'd think, this guy's gonna come in and just dominate a spot like Xantares did. So I think they gotta switch up the pool a little bit.
It also doesn't feel like another weird thing about Nip, it's not really the same conversation, but I just noticed that like, they can win games.
Well, it's got to be now.
Now we're talking about this. They can win games with dev1ce getting 60 ADR. You know, it's a weird one where he doesn't need to carry, but also like sometimes he just carries on random games. He's obviously not playing his best right now. But I'm saying it doesn't seem to be, like there was a stat that was brought up on the desk in the graphic that was great from production, was just like, you know, when Rez is playing well, they're winning 80% of their maps. It doesn't feel like there's that same correlation with dev1ce right now.
No, but I think, I don't know, I've thought about this a little bit, because there's always I feel like I always kind of rate dev1ce a little bit higher than a lot of people, which is kind of weird to say. At least certainly when it comes to like those HLTV top 20 players of the year, I always feel like dev1ce should be in that.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, Simples,
We've always known dev1ce isn't someone who's gonna, we all know dev1ce isn't like a player who's going to like join a team and be able to like, or maybe he can, but he just doesn't individually take over. Like if you ever want to have like the highest impact of one player joining a team, it's always going to be Simple, because Simple can join any team and give you consistently 25, 30 frags. dev1ce was always impressive to me because he just didn't really make, I just didn't really see him make a whole lot of mistakes within Astralis, and he got to sit within his own structure where he knows what everyone else is doing to him and just play like a really solid game, and he'd creep up to his 20 frags or whatever it is, but he always seemed like to be that star player who kind of elevates the team rather than taking over as an individual.
Yeah, and the team did definitely get better with him on it in some weird, like the team got better even in those like just above average games from him.
Yeah.
So there was definitely that correlation as well.
Do you follow the NBA at all?
A little bit.
Do you?
Yes.
dev1ce always strikes me as like the Tim Duncan.
Yeah, yeah.
Why didn't you ask me?
Big fundamental.
I don't know.
You look like a hockey, you look like a
Maybe it
hockey
was the
guy.
convenience of looking this way.
That's
You watch the
no,
NBA.
absolutely not. So I felt like that was just
How
a
high can you
safe
jump?
That's a
assumption.
good point. I don't know why. I was tunnel visioned to this side of the couch.
But,
It's the issue of being a host, man.
Yeah, right?
You're never
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
included in the meat of the conversation.
Yeah.
You're just there to make sure it all happens.
He's good because he's got a great post game, grabs the necessary rebounds, plays good defense.
Yeah.
And the problem is Popovich takes him out when they need that one rebound to seal the heat away, but that's okay.
That's when they beat my Pistons back in the day.
Yeah.
That was brutal. That one hurt.
Damn. I don't know where to segue with this
There's
one.
no
I'm trying to
transition
think. I'm
there.
like, what's a sports
LeBron
analogy?
James?
Can we talk about hockey?
Ice stick, yeah.
It was Wayne Gretzky.
Ice, yeah. He
Yeah.
dribbles good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about that? The idea of him, another sports analogy, the Tom Brady, move
Yep.
for dev1ce to go to the, to go to the Buccaneers. Do you think in his mind it was like that at all, or?
The Bucks.
I
have
hope not, because Tom Brady won a Super Bowl.
Well,
so.
that's the idea. Like
That's the goal, man.
The Bucks have a better O-line and a really good defense that NIP don't have. So that's the shift.
What
was
is
a
the
little-
O-line of Counter-Strike?
The O-line of CS? Probably nade protocols or something. Just
Okay.
like good smokes,
That's fair.
good setup and around.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. So he joined a more solid team, I guess. Okay. So then, what's the future potential of his like other pieces? Because like, Rez is, I don't know if I could call Rez like a superstar, but like he's really good.
You need Zip to come over from Astralis, and he's the Gronkowski that follows him.
Gronk comes out of retirement.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna keep with this metaphor if we're gonna play that.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
Zip
Yeah,
looks
go
like
for
Gronk, that would be so funny. I'm just like,
Someone
I
needs to
Zip running down a
Photoshop Zip's
field,
head onto
like-
Gronk's body or something.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
The EU audience is just lost right now. Though.
True. It's like different sports.
Yes.
None of them European.
Right.
We touched on this during the EPOS Push to Talk podcast, Mo, you and I, where it's like this signing of Rez and like cementing Rez as kind of dev1ce's right-hand man is, I think, what solidifies this process for NIP to become the next level, right? Like, and so far, I mean, at least after tonight's performance, I'm very sold with Rez. They said it themselves when they signed this, the contract, that like Rez is just coming into his best years now.
Yeah, I had an issue with that though.
Sure.
I don't know what that looks like. Like
Rez's best years.
Yeah, like is he?
Did we see his peak already?
Do we realistically think Rez is gonna like get 10 times better than he is
I
now?
was
Like
looking
he's
at
gonna
when he
hit
got
some
that
peak.
ace. When he got that ace in the back of the site, I was like, damn, that's like shades of electronic. But he's not electronic.
Shades of Breeze.
Shades of Breeze. But I mean, even like I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah, who you can compare him to that is all at that peak, that would like be where he's going to.
Like how long has Rez been in NIP? That was when like the old school guys were slowly fading out. That was right before
2017
Get Right
at
left.
least, right?
Yeah, so he's been around for 4 years.
He's a
Like, do we
community
realistically think that after 4 years he's gonna find like a new level to get to?
Yeah, is there some leap?
I'm
that
not
he's
trying to
making?
dumpster on Rez either.
Yeah.
I think Rez is a good player. I think he's a great player actually. But I don't know if we're gonna like get some kind of crazy peak. It's not like entering the peak of his career and all of a sudden it's like, ooh, Rez just signed a 5-year contract. Now watch his skills shoot up.
What about Plopski? Like he came on and it was like another Rez was coming onto the team.
Yeah.
And he was like super nuts right away, but he's just been very like
I think Plopski
forgettable, I guess.
Yeah, I think Plopski is one of the players on NIP that got hit hardest by like the transitioning pieces of like different academy players coming in and stuff.
True.
I think Plopski is the guy who kind of had to take a back seat, like because all the attention that was focused on integrating Plopski to be that next Rez was then sort of, I think, maybe take, like, he had his period of like training, let's call it, and then once these newer, younger players were coming in, it was almost expected of him to like be good enough, like to just stay at that level. But
We just talked to him
some
in
of
the
the focus
post-game
fell.
interview,
Yeah.
and I asked him about that actually, because I thought he was way more explosive. He had this crazy series of tournaments where he had above a 1.0 rating. I want to say it was at least 10, 12 tournaments. And then now it's just every other tournament, red, white, red, white. You don't know what you're gonna get anymore. And he said that was because before he got to do all the aggressive plays that he liked to do, and now they're letting him do a few more of those now. So I'm a fan of that because I don't want Hampus to be the guy that always does something at the beginning of the round. That's why, I mean, just looking at how they used knock before, man, that was just crazy. Lowest attempt rate for an Opera I've ever seen every single tournament. 9% attempt rate, opening kills. Like, what is...
That's crazy.
That's not how the gun should be used by... No other team thinks the gun should be used like that.
Yeah.
So I want them to integrate some more people.
How does Shiro even have a higher percentage than that?
Yeah, so... Hopefully he bounces back like that.
I think, yeah, I 100% believe in Knock, actually, as an individual. We've seen his peaks in certain maps. You're like, damn, this guy... That's the thing. Like, I look at Knock, and I'm like, even though he doesn't have nearly the stats of Rez, I think, like, he's, like, in some senses, could be, like, a elite opper, like, for sure. But the consistency doesn't prove it by any means. But I feel like a change of scenery. There's this big problem in the Swedish scene of just, like, not much leadership. And so, like, there's not, like, you know, I mean, Glaive for Astralis, like, he can make good players into insane players, but it doesn't feel like there's that much with the Swedish scene. Even between, like, Threat as a coach, like, start off really well, but after some time, I mean, it doesn't feel like they're, like, tactically that incredible. I think you've called the NIP a very reactive team. I agree to the point that it's, like, not even a good thing almost. Like, they can beat themselves if you give them space, that kind of thing. So, yeah, and Hampus, I think, has done a great job of, like, trying to become that, but he's the only one, really.
Right. Yeah, NIP is still the team. If I want to learn something about another team, I will watch them play NIP because it's just...
On Overpass.
I get to see them just run every play they want to play and then see how NIP reacts to it.
Sure, yeah, smooth. So, you know, we compare what, let's say, Hampus, not quite Glaive, Threat, not quite Zonic.
Yeah.
If Nip make another change,
Oh, dear.
let's go down the line.
I don't want to be the guy.
Don't want to be that guy?
Honestly, don't even know exactly what...
Brings ETR
What would you
back.
do, Coach Moses?
Yeah, here we go again. There's that bus. I don't know. I'm not going to say who I think would go out, but I mean, I think the easiest answer is obviously like the Zip joke or Dupree or something like that. It's like, why not look at one of Device's old teammates, see if you can bring him over. Seems like a perfect solution if you actually thought there was a problem. I don't know what NIP's thinking is. I have to imagine if you are going to make the decision to pay the big money to get Device there and buy out his contract and have him long-term, then you better also be dedicated to getting the right pieces around him to make sure that that investment and that player has success, considering he's one of the best players in the world. So if you go through this cycle, which I imagine the game plan would be from an organizational standpoint, is go through this major cycle, and like every team at this moment is probably saying, let's see what happens at or after the major, and we'll assess the situation then. But I don't believe that NIP would pay that money to get one of the best players in the world and not be willing to continue to try and find the right pieces around him to succeed.
Sure. That's a solid answer right there.
Thank you.
Done.
If you buy a Lambo, you got to pay a lot for the parts.
Powered by apple juice.
Yeah. All right, G2 MIBR. That's our other game from today. G2 clearly not the G2 that got 0-5'd in groups, right?
MIBR is not one of the teams that took him down, though.
That's fair. Yeah, that is fair. That is fair.
It would have been 1-4 if MIBR were there.
That's just true.
I think G2 just had too much fun on the player break and weren't really like, they didn't have the machinery started.
I feel like there's
there's
way too much stock it put into games right after
Yeah.
the player break where all upsets have happened in history.
So in hindsight, right?
And it was like the most waited for player break like ever. You know, with the amount of stuff that people have gone through, like last year and the amount of games and stuff, and the amount of stuff that went online, like if people took a couple extra days on their vacation or just like chilled way too hard or didn't start playing again a little bit earlier, like I'm not surprised.
Well, that's the situation though. They didn't get back to a boot camp environment for the group stage of EPL. They were still playing from their individual setups for the group stage.
I think they're still playing from individual setups here, though, aren't they?
Yeah. What's that, sir?
They're still at individual setups, I think, here. For this
Are
event.
they for this event? So
I think they're still split up.
I think their plan was to go into the side-by-side setup for the playoffs of EPL. But then obviously they didn't get to the playoffs of EPL, so they never got to get to that, you know?
That is a large assumption.
Yeah.
They did do a boot camp immediately after EPL, but I think they're now split up again.
Yeah, they're now split up.
Sure.
Those upkeep costs of those boot camps are just crazy, right?
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
Especially when they're in Monaco.
Yeah, it's just too much. It all costs too much. Yeah. What org would do that?
Jack's had to keep that tan, Mo. You know, it's got to be a sunny destination.
You only get hair like that if you go in the ocean once a week.
Yeah. It's not from sea salt spray. You have to go to the ocean.
I mean, you know, man, you're from Hawaii.
My hair is so much flatter when I'm not there, actually. It's actually a joke. I need to jump in the ocean here.
Maybe if you jumped in the ocean, Moses.
Yeah, that was my problem. Not enough ocean growing up.
You make a hell of a mermaid.
You had a good amount of curls when you were growing up. So.
Oh, insane.
Yeah, yeah, remind me.
He was hitting the ocean all the time. Yeah.
It's only funny because you have a great bald head. Like, you're lucky. You got. If I went bald, I'd
Great
also.
shape.
If I went
Great shape.
bald, I'd also probably just
Thanks.
be jobless.
Admirable.
Thank you,
It's admirable.
guys.
I remember that picture, just like to me, like it's a great photo, but it's also very offensive of Blast Copenhagen 2019. We were in the green room, and I remember you were sitting like this, facing the other direction on your phone.
Mohan just put his hand on my head.
Comes up from behind you and just like
Rubs the
What is-
crystal.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is the policy with putting hands on bald people's heads? I think it's a microaggression, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should start suing
I was
people.
being toxic.
Is it it's like the equivalent of when like people put their
I
arms on
don't-
your shoulders?
I don't give a damn when like Mohan does it in that situation or one of you guys
you.
that we hang out and work with. But I have had people come up to me at events and ask if they could rub my head, just like a random stranger. from the
Oh,
crowd.
man.
And
Oh,
that's very
gosh.
weird.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a player.
Chat, don't do that.
There's a player who is currently competing now on a top 10 team who got so wasted at an after party. And I had never met him before in my life.
Almanac.
I can't believe Config would do this.
And he walked up to me all drunk and just like reached his hand out and tried to like rub my head. And I was
Oh
like,
my
what the
gosh.
fuck? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know who it was.
That's when you're too famous.
And he kept like
Yeah.
trying
People
to
think
like
you're a
rub
friend.
my head thinking I knew who it was and I was going to be cool with it.
Right.
And then he told me who it was and I was like, no, you still can't rub my head.
That's so forward for Rez to do.
Yeah. The parasocial relationship there is not appreciated, guys.
Moses, I'm not your friend.
You're back, Moses. Finish your drink. I'm gonna say where you belong. At least from a talent perspective. And I'm not trying to.
The
Sorry.
delivery was just so funny.
Where are you
I'm not talking shit about your coaching abilities, but I think I'm talking
Holding
more
his
so to
cable.
like your anchor on a broadcast, man. I think I can speak for all the talent, not just Blast related, obviously coming off of EPL as well. That we're happy to have you back on our
Yes.
side, man.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I missed you guys.
I trust what you
Most
say
of you.
when you
Yeah.
when you speak.
Yeah. I say it
That's
with
big,
confidence.
actually.
Yeah, that
Even
means a
if
lot.
it's completely wrong and I kind of know it's probably at least 50% chance wrong, I say it with a lot of confidence. I learned that from Sadikist.
I got to do that more. I think I say things I know are right, and I don't have the same confidence that you both do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's the mustache that gives it confidence as it comes out.
Either
by
like a
both, I
complete
meant you and
liar
Sadikist,
or
but yeah.
Oh, damn, Maui. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sure, that's all right. It's all right. We know we just took you around Copenhagen all day yesterday.
Yeah,
Me and Mohan
very
showed you
killer.
all our favorite spots, man.
Killer.
We're
Didn't
taking
didn't the Jackal have a mustache?
Didn't
You see
who,
that
sir?
flick? The Jackal?
like
Sure,
Jacqueline
what-
Hyde.
No. Okay, never
No,
mind.
wow.
I don't know, man.
It's got Richard Gere. It's fun.
Yeah.
Good deal.
That guy?
That guy put a hamster in his ass, right? Or is that a different?
I helped him out with that.
I too have no further comment.
Then he had to put the cat in because how are you going to get the dribble out?
The weasel, actually, got it out.
Everyone at Blast is like, all right, end the show quickly.
No, we still got at least 5 minutes.
Overtime.
All right,
Got them in
so
the palm of our hand.
Perfect.
okay, well you tried some. We didn't get to try the Smørrebrød, like the open face sandwich.
Right.
I say that right? Yes.
Yeah.
Small boy.
But you did try gasoline grill,
Is that where we
was
get
killer.
smorgasbord?
Yeah.
which is
don't
it's just
know.
the open face
Probably.
sandwich.
Yeah.
But it's the gasoline grill is a really famous burger here. There's
Yeah.
also Popple, which is close, also very good.
Yes.
What's the next on the list? Like, what do you really need to try before you leave?
Oh, well, I want to try Popple next.
Yeah, Popple
Now.
next. Yeah.
That's
Mentioned
pretty-
herring, right? Herring,
Yeah, I
so
want to try like
try-
pickled herring. I want to
Yeah.
try the weird
No, you
Danish
don't.
staples.
No, you don't.
I
That's
do.
what I'm
I
saying.
do.
No, you don't.
I
It's-
like
I'm
fermentation.
the same way. Like I tried it. I had it like a few times. I never really liked it, but I had it because it was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like things that are fermented.
I don't think I've ever met like a.
You went to Cambodia and had like everything they had there, right?
That's
I mean,
like eating like bugs on a
adventurous, too.
stick.
Not everything. We did have the street food had
Crickets?
snake, cricket, tarantula, and scorpion deep
Oh my
fried.
God.
Wow, deep fried.
Or just fried.
That's very
I don't know if
American.
it's deep fried or
And an
fried.
Oreo.
It wasn't breaded.
Deep fried.
Deep fried Oreos, yeah.
What was surprisingly the best of that mix?
You know, I can't do it. I can't lie about something like that. I didn't have any of them. I had the cricket.
Yeah, the
that was
cricket.
it. I didn't do the. I don't do spiders well.
Okay, that's
Spiders
fair.
are-
And
They
they got
just
too many
don't-
hairy
The
legs.
thing is, they
Spiders
don't
aren't
make
my
it
thing.
look good either. There's no presentation.
No,
they
it's-
take the spider, the snake, and then they stab it in, and it's like loop it this way,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
still staring at you.
Yeah, they don't try and dress it up in any
Yeah.
way. The spider still looks very real because it's a
sauce? Yeah.
tarantula, so it's still
No
just
sauce.
like dark,
No sauce.
black.
And tarantulas are hairy, right?
Yeah,
They got hair. They're
Most,
hairier
I
than
think
Jason.
most of the fuzz comes off. Yeah, they're certainly hairier than I am.
Yeah.
I'm a texture guy when it comes to food, so I feel like tarantulas don't have an appealing
much
Probably got a
texture.
weird one, I would imagine.
right?
I think the
it's fried.
craziest thing is it's like the young kids and the teenagers they like send out to like catch tarantulas by hand.
That is still just
That's
nuts.
like,
those
the job.
to be on my CS team.
'cause
I want people like that with that.
They got reaction time. They
yeah,
got
reaction time
flicks.
plus they're
Or
brave.
really messed up fingers.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
yeah.
They got. I mean, they have fangs. Most tarantulas.
Yeah, oh, they hurt.
Not poisonous, but they got
yeah.
fangs.
Well, that's all right. You know.
But yeah, I don't do weird food, you know?
No, I have a bone to pick actually while we're in Denmark with Smørrebrød.
Smørrebrød.
Did he say that one right?
It's
Small.
it's just a sandwich without the top piece of bread.
Yes.
It's what
and
they
like
put on
it's
it,
supposed to be like it's what they present
When
as
I
like
first sat
Danish.
down with it, I didn't know what it was,
It's-
and I put the other piece of the bread on the sandwich.
Yeah.
And the Danish guy was
Did you order the
literally
open
took it
face
off.
sandwich with a side of toast?
What's that?
Open face sandwich with a side of toast?
It's basically that's what they actually serve it like that.
We had to
very
do this.
confusing.
We filmed this piece last season of Blast where Launders and I did like Danish things, right? And we went and jumped in the ocean, and we went to Tivoli, and one of the activities was we're gonna make smørrebrød, and they put all the ingredients in front of us, but obviously not telling us like how to represent it or do it properly. And so we
Wow.
just put it on top. You just put two pieces of
Did
bread.
either of you make an acceptable sandwich? I feel like you could be a good sandwich maker. I don't know if I have faith in your sandwich.
I messed around a little bit.
Yeah.
I had
So
fun with it.
the gimmick in this situation was that the sandwich
Because
was
he
to
had
be
to eat
eaten by
mine.
the other person.
Yeah.
So Mohan threw out the whole I'm
Okay.
gonna make a presentable sandwich and did
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
make Connor eat
He went that route.
a shit ton of horseradish.
There were Lucky Charms, I
He
would've
went for
put
the
it on.
win.
Yeah.
He won the personal battle, but not the actual game.
Yeah.
Yeah. All things considered, it wasn't half bad.
Okay.
But they did mock us as we thought we were putting cheese on top, and it was just like pickled horseradish or something. It was. I
Yeah, I
can
thought the
still, like,
horseradish was cheese, and it was
cringe
I was like,
from
that
it.
smells spicy. That's like some
I love
spicy
horseradish,
cheese.
though.
Yeah,
Horseradish is
horseradish
Yeah,
is
no,
the best.
Crazy, yeah.
Yum.
Still haven't recovered. But anyways,
Yum,
yeah,
yum.
it's not. I don't know. When Maui shows up and says like, yeah, I want Danish food, it's a very short list. We've lived here for months.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
I feel like we've gotten a lot of mileage out of a conversation about open face sandwiches. I feel like we've done a really good job.
Yeah, that's a podcast right there.
True.
There's got to be something else.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I don't know. I wanted to move us along from the open face sandwiches. That was like
Okay.
that was like 3 minutes on sandwiches.
What about the Nexus?
What about regular sandwiches?
What about
You can go for days on that one. That one's fine.
what about Reddit?
Reddit? Did you see something on Reddit today you want to talk about? You were telling us the other day that sometimes you Google yourself to just see what people think of you because, to be
Sometimes
honest,
twice a day.
you're,
Oh no.
you
no,
know,
no. Yes, but no. Yes.
yes?
But no.
No?
No.
Okay.
Honestly, no. It's too much. I think most talent are past the point of really trying to see that. Although I see pimp replies in every thread labeled pimp on HLTV. I will find him.
That's where he gets his viewers.
I don't look at my own comments about me on the internet, but I look at comments about all of you.
That's the best part.
I search out comments on everyone else.
Yeah, if you see anything about anybody else, it's just like
It's great.
the most polarizing thing always. It's like, I love him, he's my favorite, and the other person's like, I can't stand him, I can't watch him. I don't like his mustache.
I look at literally nothing. I read my YouTube comments if I want to get roasted. Right there.
You have a big enough audience on there that you
Yeah.
will get like a variety.
It's the ego check.
Yeah.
Like,
I
need to
hate the
be
videos
brought
that
down.
do too well, and then they're just
Yeah.
on random people's home front pages. I just
Oh,
want
yeah.
all of my views to come from myself. Like,
Yeah.
But some of your YouTube stuff is gold. Like,
Some.
I feel like most. No?
thank you.
Most? I'm not talking about your
got
videos. I'm
noties
talking about
on?
the comments.
You got noties on?
No.
The
I
hell,
do
man.
subscribe though. I
I've only
just.
got 5% noties.
I have to. I hear most of your opinions on the
Click
podcast.
the bell.
You know, so.
Make sure you click the bell.
Ding the bell.
That'd be
Just
weird.
YouTuber things.
Working together, casting like 5 games with each other, and then going back to the hotel and being like, I want to check out Launders.
Watch
Yeah.
Launders YouTube channel.
I'd watch some of them. I will be honest.
I do the videos and I just repeat the same stuff live.
It'd be like that. It really do be like that, honestly.
But that's why you're so like assertive and confident in what you're saying because you're running it. You're
You've given
practicing
it a
I
test
rehearsed
run,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. It's a good way of watching demos, and like you always talk about this, right? It's about getting the most out of your content. If you're gonna stream, make sure you do Twitch highlights of it after, and post those Twitch highlights on YouTube. And you're just
them.
doing the same thing. But the people who only watch your YouTube videos and don't watch your cast, they still have all the same
Do
knowledge.
you have a Launders clips channel where I could just come in and get
I have
the?
a shorts channel, yeah.
Okay.
In a 9:16 format for the phone users.
Wow.
And a TikTok.
Hold on. How come your videos on Twitter are the only ones that I have to watch an ad first? You guys noticed this yet?
I've seen a couple of
I've
his
seen ads all over
yeah.
Twitter.
I don't
No.
really watch
So I swear, I don't know, man. There's something going on with you, and I need to get to the bottom of this. And you just made me think about it. It's like I'll get like a 15-second Mohan gameplay highlight, but I've got to get through the 10-second ad first.
Are you not one of his super followers? We all subscribed. You haven't?
Not yet.
You're
Not a
missing out
supporter.
on some great tweets.
No. I get through the ad anyways to watch it, but I don't know. Who'd you pay off? Like, how'd
You
get-
watch my ads on my YouTube channel too, right?
I don't. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Always. Yeah? You had a thought. It's on the tip of your tongue. Just
You
say
better
it.
not gasp in front of Connor.
I don't use an ad block on anything
Oh, good.
across. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your service is
Especially not when watching Blast Premiere, right?
Maybe it's because I grew up with television.
Sure.
I don't mind sitting through like the 45 seconds of commercials.
You're braver than the soldiers.
Ads tie it all together, you know? Like, everyone's complaining about, like, why aren't things free?
Yep.
Like, everything is free. That is free is because of ads.
Yeah.
Shout out to ads.
If I wanna not watch ads on someone's channel, I subscribe to it.
You know what else is free? The Overtime Show. And now that this episode's all wrapped up,
So
you
if
guys
you like what we have to say about open-faced sandwiches, please consider sponsoring the program. Send your emails to
Send your tarantulas to
Connor.Durbin.
Moses.
Wait, I don't want to read my email off to them. Hey. We'll be back tomorrow. Moses is here on the broadcast. We got plenty of Counter-Strike every single day, and we'll get a different set of guests tomorrow so that we can reiterate our open-faced sandwich conversation. We'll milk it for even 3 more minutes. You'll have to come back to see if we pull it off. Ladies and gentlemen,
hotmail.com.
thanks for joining us. See you guys tomorrow.
Hotmail@hotmail.com.